Hello everyone, wherever you are in the world. Hi there, I'm Steve Bassett, and you stumbled on 9 Beats Collective, and this is actually one of 3 9 Beats Collective contributions to the Red Letter Christians Beatitudes Bash. And we're glad you're here. We've gathered together some of 9 Beats Collective in Birmingham, England. Birmingham. Coming to you from Birmingham, the heart of England. We're going to share, over the next hour or so, we're going to share some songs and stories and conversations about love and loss and longing and lament and any other things beginning with L that we can think of, all inspired by the 9 ancient sayings that are known as the Beatitudes. And we'll unpack them as we go through the evening. But we're glad you're here, and you're going to help us co-create something new in this space that we're sharing in the wonderful digital ether. We're at the studio in Birmingham, and it's been a great time already, just like getting ready to share some stuff with you. So we're happy to be together. We've got some of the 9 Beats Collective that are based in the UK. We'll introduce them all to you as we go through the evening, okay? We're going to start off with a song about zombies, because why wouldn't you when you're talking about 2,000-year-old ancient sayings of wisdom? Well, yeah, songs about zombies. Bear with us, it makes sense. The idea behind this song was that... when we started this project, The Walking Dead was a big thing. I love The Walking Dead, actually. I've followed it since day one. And it was this idea that there's these human beings trying to make sense of a world gone completely insane, wild. And how can you be human? How can you retain your humanity? How can you get through and live when the world is out of control? And this was like 2014, 15. This was before anything. It was before Donald Trump was president. It was before all these things. You know, yeah. It was that long ago. We can still remember that. You know, and now, of course, with COVID and everything, Walking Dead is like a reality show. But but my friend Matt Valler rewrote the Beatitudes with these lyrics, which kind of come from the place that, like, you know. Those that have power, that cling on to power, that do violence in the world, the misogyny, the patriarchy, the racism, the people that perpetuate things and cling on to the power. These ancient sayings say, look, no, there's actually like a horde of the blessed. There's a horde of zombies, if you like. They're always there in the peripheral vision, haunting you. And so we're going to start off with a zombie song, which is called "Blessed Are the Undead," featuring Belinda Kay on vocals.
Zombie. Blessed are the undead. Blessed are the undead. Blessed are those you see as cursed. They are blessed. Here come the depressed. They own the future. Here come the grieving. They won't be comforted. Here come the enslaved. They will have the whole earth. Here come the ones who were starved of justice. They will be filled. Blessed are the undead. Blessed are the undead. Blessed are those you see as cursed. they will be shown grace. Here come the uncorrupted, they will see God. Here come the peacemakers, they will be protected. Here come the oppressed who were wrongly accused. They own the future. Blessed are the undead. Blessed are the undead. Blessed are those you see as cursed. They are blessed. Here you come, you oppressed, you wrongly accused. Take heart, take heart. They did this to your heroes, whose ghosts will not die. Blessed are the undead. Blessed are the undead. Blessed are those you see as cursed. They are blessed. Take heart, take heart. They did this to your heroes, whose ghosts will not die, whose ghosts will not
Whoa, Belinda. Fantastic. Well, there you go. A song about zombies to start the thing off. Hey, we're on the trail of the nine beats. These Beatitudes spoken by Jesus, and you know that they're not just kind of sort of fridge magnet philosophy. They actually meet us where we are as people. You know, even in a pandemic where, you know, everything has been impacted. Every one of us here, everyone watching, we've all been so affected and impacted by these things. But these beats meet us right where we are. You know, we've been thrown off of the axis of normality, whatever that is. And really, I guess we're in trauma. And it's okay saying that we're all feeling afraid. We know how we're grieving. And hey, it's okay. We all feel hurt. We're sorry. It's something we can't fix. There's no magic tricks left in the pretty box where once there were flowers and doves. There's just a bunch of rocks. But it's okay. It's only human to feel this way. Let me tell you a secret that lies behind all our tired eyes. God knows deep down we're all terrified. And knowing we know is the very first note of a brand new song. I promise it won't be long before the radio puts it on and we all sing along. It's okay. 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 It's okay crying. We're all so upset and it all feels so scary. Hey, it's okay. That love we crave in the evening with all the lamps turned down when there is no sound. Just silently scrolling through memes afloat on sweet Photoshop dreams, chasing the dopamine. And it's okay, it's just distraction to feel that way. I read that Jesus, he once sweated blood all alone in a garden, so it's okay, we're not alone. Even Jesus sang out the heartsick blues, abandoned and bruised. Child, hush now and try and be still. These tears are the sum of our fears, time's bitter sleeping pill. And it's okay. There's no one guilty that feels this way. Remember that secret that lies behind all our tired eyes, that God knows deep down we're all terrified, and knowing we know is the very first note of a brand new song. And I promise it won't be long before the radio puts it on and we all sing along. It's okay. 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 We could tell each other stories of what we learned while we whiled away the time, but they mask the hidden pain that not everyone we loved made it across the borderline. And Jesus cried, God, why did you forsake me on such a dark and lonely day? And then a whisper rose up through the anguish. I'm gonna live like love wins anyway. I'm gonna live like love wins anyway. I'm gonna live like love wins anyway, and it's okay. 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 It's okay.
Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. It's okay.
Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. It's okay.
Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. It's okay.
Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for justice, for they will be satisfied. It's okay.
Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. It's okay.
Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. It's okay.
Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God.
Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
And blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. Rejoice and be glad, for great is your reward in heaven. But in the same way they persecuted the prophets who came before you. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's
It's okay. Hey, it's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. Mr. Rob Taylor in the house.
And so, a story from another time and another place, from the stream in Islam called Sufism. There was once a Sufi master who managed to lose his keys and lock himself out of his house. And he was in the front garden on his hands and knees looking through the long grass as some of his students came down the road. And they said, Master, how can we help you? What's going on? And he said, I've locked myself out of my house. I have no idea where my keys are. And so the students got down on their hands and knees and were going through the grass and were searching for the keys. And the day got longer and the sun got higher and the temperature got hotter. And after a while, they were getting hot and sweaty and frustrated and weren't finding anything. And they went, Master, would it at least help if you could tell us roughly where you thought you'd lost your keys? And the Sufi master went, oh no, I lost them in the house. And the students looking at each other and going, but Master, why are we searching outside here? And he went, oh yes, but it's much nicer out here, isn't it? And the story is told as a moral that when you want to look in the wrong place, there are lots of people available to help you do that. But there aren't many people there to help you look in the right place. Wow. That's very cool. And our experience as we've run this journey of the 9 beats of Jesus spoken on a mountain many years ago that we call the Beatitudes, is that they've become the right place to look. And sometimes the right place is inside and not outside. and there's the story of the Sufi master. The Beatitudes really ask us to reconsider how we look at life, the lens that we use to actually see things. These sayings turn the way we are told things should be on their head. They imagine a new way of being, a new set of values, a new way of hoping within the world, to know what matters, to know how to make it better. But with the beats, the upside down is actually the right way up. The difference to how we see things is love, because love is the glue that holds together these whole sayings of Jesus. And in a world that feels devoid sometimes of hope and devoid of new opportunity and devoid of the chance to leave the past behind and open something new up, this song written by Steve Bassett over there, with music by Heather Lynn, who's not with us, who's in the States, asks us to consider what can love create that wasn't there before. Amazing acts of grace that open heaven's door.
Eyes of grace, see beauty in this world won't face. Your unsettling tenderness softens something brittle inside. I never saw myself as beautiful until today. Oh, what can love create that wasn't there before? Creative acts of grace, open hidden doors. Oh, what can love create that wasn't there before today? Eyes of hope, see futures in this beaten frame. You're unshakable, trust in me. Flowers into promise inside. I never knew it could feel so intimate to hear my name, my name. Oh, what can love create that wasn't there before? Creative acts of grace, open hidden doors. Oh, what can love create that wasn't there before today? Oh, what can love create that wasn't there before? Creative acts of grace, open hidden doors. Oh, what can love create that wasn't there before today?
Tony Bean on guitar.
Amazing.
Linda Gay. Yes.
Amazing.
Mr. Tony Beam, producer of the 9 Beats album, which we'll talk about later. Martin Trotman is musical director today with a beautiful hat on, which I would covet immensely. Yeah. Don't sew new patches on wineskins so torn. It's out of this pain that a new day is born. Darkness so deep means light is dawning, the secret of hope that keeps our hearts warming. If we have wisdom to hear what is calling, get ready to rise in the face of the falling. It all feels too heavy to carry these tears, but they ground us in love that drowns out our fears. If we learn anything from this great unfolding, it's what to let go and what to keep holding. What to affirm and what to discard. When justice demands, we face what is hard. If God be willing, tomorrow we'll see clearer skies. If God be willing, new songs will rise. Freedom will come and truth will thrive. And I'll see you again and I'll be by your side if God be willing. Listen now, my 9 Beats prophecy. We're going to see new fashions, new colours, new styles, new design, music creativity to help redefine the way we see ourselves, the way we free ourselves as humanity in the light of divine. So, the philosophers musing the street poets' lines reframe dreams and visions with the rhymes of our times. It's the dawn of the empath, the age of the ingenue. Those who sense the vibrations of all things made new. I see it in you, I see it in you, I see it in you, I see it in you. Listen now, the who, the how, the new, the now, the what's been and what will be, things seen and things yet to see. The keys to our humanity unlock the door to a future free. Jesus said, wake from your slumber and follow me. Wake from your slumber and follow me. See, we're all so tired, we're drained out of sleep, and some who've been raging, they've really got grief. We've got to stand, keep praying, keep working for justice and peace when inside we're all hurting. If we learn anything from this great unfolding, it's what to let go and what to keep holding, what to tear down and what to rebuild. In love we will dream till the whole world is filled. Right now, all creation groans at the weight of the stones that drag beauty down with anguish and moans. But life pushes up through the hardest of ground as we fight and we pound our fists against doors that are stubbornly closed, with songs of the spirit and heavenly hosts that call out the living from bandaged up ghosts. See, love looks like sacrifice, forgiveness, redemption, saying the hard talk, walking the real walk, speaking the God thought, no favour, no exemption. Love embraces the outcast, welcomes the refugee. It waits at the border with children that cry and parents that grieve. Love looks like ploughshares fashioned from guns. Love tastes like clean water where peaceful streams run. It hopes and it longs and it works and it waits. Love is the key that opens up our mental gates. 9 beats to be free as we live in between the story and the dream. If God be willing, tomorrow we'll see clearer skies. If God be willing, new songs will rise, freedom will come, and truth will thrive. And I'll see you again, and I'll be by your side. If God be willing, tomorrow we'll see clearer skies.
That's so good. So what to let go and what to keep holding. Those are big questions. And as a newbie to the 9 Beats collective world, I've struggled with a lot of that, grappled with a lot of what that means. The love, the lament, the longing, the serenity. So Michelle, can you tell me how have you collided with this world?
Still concussed, I think.
I think the Beatitudes for me, it's kind of, they're these amazing and profound wisdom teachings that have given me a new way to live by, like these new values, and they've helped me to sort of confront my fears, my anxieties. And I've noticed that as I've taken on the Beatitude and I've practiced them, it's started to take transformation in here. It started to transform parts of who I am. And then because of that, it starts to impact how I behave, and then how then that transforms the world around me. And I start to be a participant in the change that I want to see.
Yeah, that's so good. So tell me a little bit more about what that looks like, how it deeply impacted you, but how has that impacted others as well?
I do think it does impact others. They're all relevant, each and every Beatitude, because we're all human. And that for me makes me think that actually it provides a safe space for us all to be human. And it gives us that permission to say it's okay to be me, it's okay to be you, it's okay to be who we are.
Yeah, I love that. It gives us all permission to have our own personal journey and our own personal interaction with what each one of these Beatitudes is about. And Marima, can you share something from your personal journey about how you've kind of interacted with all of these Beatitudes?
Yeah, so I actually joined Life Words about 2 years ago now. And it was interesting because when I joined the team, I think I really looked at the Sermon on the Mount in a very different way. It's a scripture that I've come across so many times growing up in a Christian church. So I think working with 9 Beats and working with Life Words and encountering the Beatitudes in this kind of socially new and very kind of like challenging way, it's given me the confidence and the safety net that you were drawing upon as well to kind of address those feelings that I don't necessarily like to look at or really just kind of appreciate. And I think there's something so beautiful in allowing yourself to be in a vulnerable space of acknowledging grief, of acknowledging loss, of acknowledging all of those like not so great emotions, because when you sit in them you grow and you can move past them. And I think there's something so powerful about the spoken word, Steve, that you performed. Thank you for that as well. The repetition of it's okay, I think it's important for us to create a space within ourselves and within our own lives so that we can be okay with not being okay and know that it will be okay in the end. And I think that's something so powerful and something that has really changed how I look at life and myself.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. Thank you, Marima. Martin, this has been a personal journey for you as well, and it's inspired the song Serenity. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, Serenity has a very close place in my heart. This song has a very deep meaning, and I think particularly when you're writing as an artist, sometimes you draw upon your experiences and those places that you've been. And there's a line in the song that talks about falling into the darkness. Now that could be different for everybody, and we've just coming out of a pandemic as well. So that looks very different for different people. But for me, sometimes when you're at your lowest, and then there's a line in the song that says, but there's a whisper, and so no matter how dark the situation may be, and people have left you, and do you know what I mean? You're on your own. But then the light shines and the light dispels that darkness, and it may be only a glimmer. And this is what this song really speaks about. And also people that I know, that I've interacted with, that have been in that place or still in that place, and trying to help them through that space, And I think the 9 Beats came at a right time for me. Timing is important. I was struggling with some stuff, and there was some work that I was doing that I didn't particularly want to do anymore, and I just felt like God just said, just close the door. And then I think it was Rob gave me a call. He says, hey, Mark, and I really had to think about it, though, because I think sometimes when you're writing that in this particular way, you're dealing with hurt, you're dealing with, and trying to get it out on paper. And so for me, it has a very special place, and I'm really hoping that as, we do this, that it will really touch people's hearts and people will be able to connect with those lyrics.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. If we could hear that from you right now, that would be amazing. Thank you.
So
We share the feeling of a soul that has to say, living in a crowded world can feel lonely. A soul emotion, like driftwood on the sea, endlessly searching for its own direction. And when I fall into the dark, fall into the dark, your whisper calls to me. From a place that lights the day, place that lights the day, and a new reality. Trying to contain this aching that we feel, living in a broken place for safety. Yet in the distance, I hear a song of hope, removing all the pain, leave it all behind. And if I fall into the dark, fall into the dark, your whisper calls to me. From a place that lights the day, place that lights the day, a new reality. And if I fall into the dark, fall into the dark, your whisper calls to me. From a place that lights the day, place that lights the day, a new reality. Yeah. When I call out to you, you whisper hope to me. From a place that lights the day, place that lights the day, a new reality. Over and over, I hear your whisper call to me, and it lights a flame. Flame, 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 flame. And over, I hear your loving call. Surround me, surround me. Oh yeah, surround me. And over, I hear your whisper call to me, and it lights a flame. Over loses my mind.
Whoa, yes. Martin Trotman, everyone. Martin Trotman. Tony Bean on the bass there as well. Yeah. Sliding around. And Belinda again. Also, thanks to Naomi Shamru, and Michelle Savage and Maureen Matodi for that last section. And we've also got Matt Curry here and Chris and Helen on the desk at the back you can't see, and also Coco down here and all kinds of things. So, yeah, it's been great. So, something I just want to jump in on, Martin, what you were saying about the sense of the vulnerability of writing these sort of songs. So, if you've joined us and you've maybe checked out some of the other contributions to this brilliant idea by Red Letter Christians and Mr. Shane Claiborne to put together people around the world that are exploring these sayings in different ways. With the 9 Beats one, you may have checked out. There's another show we've done from the Wild Goose Festival, which you can get online, and also something done by our friend Mark Scandrette, which is a bit more, what we call the Ninefold Path, a kind of a more curriculum, formation, and teaching. These are all aspects of the same universe of 9 Beats, which we're really thrilled about. But I suppose here, what we're doing that might be a little bit different is one of our 9 Beats collective artists, Vince Anderson, he describes it as like we're kind of exploring kind of like the Blue Note stuff. It's kind of, we're going like, here's the Beatitudes, but we're kind of writing what's in between. It's almost like musically, what's in between A and B flat? Is there anything? And being vulnerable enough to explore those things, because the Beatitudes impacts those things about us. And so that's maybe something which we can bring together into this world, because these sayings, they're just transformative, really. So more now from Mr. Rob Taylor. Rob and I have been working on this project for 147 years.
Wow.
Or a month, I don't know, one of the two. And back to Rob for some of your wisdom, Rob. So appreciate that.
This is silent wisdom. Can you feel the wisdom?
Speak up.
Can you speak up, lad? So you may have noticed that we have been able to bring love and lament into the same place, which is normally something we spend a lot of effort trying to keep well away from each other, because love and lament, one's all right, but the lament bit, and particularly in the West, we don't do lament very well. Some of you who have travelled maybe to other countries will know that some places do lament a lot better than us. Well, they certainly do it more noisily than we do, and a more outward showing of grief and all that kind of stuff. And I think Naomi mentioned that, and others have mentioned it as we've gone along. But Steve was saying, in a weird sense, lament's actually an act of love. It comes out of a love for those who feel they're lost, concern for ourselves, what's going on in the world, and lament actually reaches out, and it's probably never been more needed now as we process loss and grief. We define our future, the new normal. Anyone says that gets off my Christmas card list. As we look at 9/11 and COVID and Afghanistan and whatever examples are more personalised, we've lost so much. We don't want to rush on to the next blessing. It's okay to feel what we feel. It's okay, but there are still things that are not okay. And what if the Beats invited us into lament as a blessed thing? Because the Beats are counterintuitive. We pump a lot of surface rubbish out about solutions to things. But what if in a blessed, not blessed, but in the old style of a blessed thing, what is lament? Because if we don't lament, and we don't lament properly, that can define our future. That can define who we are. How much of the world is because we've not lamented, we've not allowed hurt to be healed, we've not expressed how we feel, we've not left things behind. God forbid we use the word closure, because I don't know what that means anymore. But we haven't moved on with those wounds. And somebody said that once when they'd lost somebody. They said, I haven't left them behind. I haven't closed that. They walked with me, but I've been able to walk on with them and all of those things, where we sit and mourn, and we wait for comfort and we wait for solace. This song from the album, written by Aaron Nyquist, sung by Belinda Kay, is Lament.
Broken beauty crying out alive. Comfort, everything is not alright. Hope is one holiday. The angels say, ah, 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 lost and never really gone or known, carried, grateful to be found alone. Echoes of holy innocence unknown. Waiting, groaning for the dawn to break. Under the weeping skies, creation cries.
More than words, huh? Belinda, thank you. Belinda Kay, Martin, beautiful song. And yeah, we'd like to dedicate that song to our friend Judy, who passed away just a few days ago in Kenya, in Nairobi, just 29. Devastating. So yeah, we think of her and her family, and we lament for her. We can make no sense of it. Yeah, rest in peace, Judy. Wow. So, Lament. This has been great. It's been good fun. And you know, I know it seems funny after that song, but you know what I mean, but fun. In the 1950s, believe it or not, some people were born in the 1950s. One person at least. In the 1950s and 60s, in the United States of America, a group of writers and artists and poets emerged with a zest for life and a dissatisfaction with the status quo. The so-called Beat Generation, through Jack Kerouac's On the Road novel, Allen Ginsberg's sort of seminal poem Howl, and others captured the cry of an entire generation, actually. And their influence spread across the decades, across music and arts and culture. People like Dylan, to Cobain, Billie Holiday, the Beatles, film, music, poetry. They influenced all of that. They even had their own font, if you look it up online. And it looks a bit cheesy now, but their influence was massive. The Clash. You can trace their role through art and culture. And sure, you know, from our place now, and perhaps however you think about it, you can critique it from a sort of moral and religious and philosophical. See, I was just laid back like a Beat Generation person then. You can critique it, but the point, whether we like it or not, or whether we approve of it, is completely to miss the point. The point is that this Beat Generation tapped in to a longing, a human ache of their time, of their moment. And right now around the world, I mean, isn't there a longing inside for something more, a better way to be human? And maybe it's time for a new Beat Generation, where the beats are the 9 beats of the Beatitudes. Wouldn't that be something? Yeah. We think this is a movement. Not just up, all these people that are taking part in the Beatitudes Bash and all around the world, and these words that are spoken by Jesus and found actually in the Bible, they hold out a 9-statement, effectively a manifesto for a new world order, a radical alternative in which we hear the whispers of another world. It's a welcome, not a weapon. It's tender, not toxic. It's inviting, not divisive. It's a call to live life 9 beats to the bar. And that's what is beguiling and what attracts us to it. And now, as we approach midnight in the UK, the next day is going to be the 20th anniversary of 9/11, that massive event. And all around the world, people will be reflecting on an event that changed so much, and continues to do that. And you can't help but think about the contrast between the world of violence and the world that the 9 beats invite us to seek and to run after and to actually co-create together. That's quite a thought, actually. Like we said earlier, the Beatitudes meet us at the deepest human ache, and they point us to a way of liberation and a way of recovery. Mr. Tony Bean here, my compatriot, sitting here, playing the bass as ever, amazingly. Tony, speaking of this in recovery thing, so we're doing a shameless plug now for the album as well, because there's a song on the album called In Recovery, which you wrote with Heather Lynn. Just tell us a bit about the creation of that song.
The song was intended to basically be the song was intended to be really about us recovering what I feel we're supposed to be. Because I think all of us have a point of waking up and thinking, is this how it's actually supposed to be? Is this what's supposed to be happening? Is this how the world is supposed to be? And I think I wrote this song basically from the standpoint of we are in recovery. We are on a road, and the 9 beats path is a road to that recovery point of recovering something of our real humanity, recovering something of what God intended us to be. Yeah. And that we're actually on that journey at the moment, recovering piece by piece what we're actually supposed to be.
Yeah. And I think one of the things about
Preach it, brother.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. One of the things about this whole 9 Beats Collective is and we're doing it today, it's about collaboration, isn't it? And so with that song, you collaborated with with our friend, the American artist. Check her out, people. Heather Lynn.
Yeah.
Now you come from different places.
Yeah.
You know, in views and stuff. So how did that work? How did you get to a place where you could create a song together that framed it for you?
For me, it was really miraculous actually, because we, like you say, we've never met before.
Yeah.
We met at the Hot House, and basically struck it off there and then. And I think Heatherlyn got the song. She got the understanding of what I was trying to approach, what I was trying to say. And she wrote the second verse and the third verse of the song. She listened to the chorus that I wrote, listened to the first verse, and she actually got right to the point of it, of knowing that there are pieces of us missing. We're actually on a road to that recovery point, and she got it straight away. She hit the mark straight away, and I think that connection is really divine. I think it is something that's divine.
Yeah, you're right, mate. Yeah, it's a great song, man. It's really, really very cool. So this is going to be our last song for those of you that are watching us online, whenever you're watching us, whether you found us after 6 months and stumbled across us. That's the brilliant thing. It's there forever now. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please feel free to comment, and we'll get back to you and we'll respond, generally. Feel free to share as well. And check us out as well online, 9beats.org. Yeah, so it's been great. It's been fun. Hope you've enjoyed it at home, wherever you are, in the car, in the train, walking around. So we're going to hit the last song now, In Recovery, featuring us all, amazingly. Yay, us! So, yeah. Thank you for watching. Here we go.
There comes a time when we run out of wishes, and all that we hope for is weighed down by gold. If only the naked were clothed in the kisses of lovers, beautiful lovers. Those who believe are resigned to confessing that those seen as nothing are now to be told. They are the ones who inherit the blessing of wonder, the realms of wonder. There's a moment for all to see. There's a way it was meant to be. The way that commands of you makes the demand on you. Voice of the wind, it is calling to how we could be. We're in recovery. Eyes filled with tears overflow, souls aching, dissolving despair as they fall to the ground. Deep in the longing is burgeoning vision discovered. Release and uncover. Wildflowers bloom from the fields of abandon, despairing and scorn, disregarded, despised. Earth past to morning, now bursting in laughter with colors, blossoming colors. There's a moment for all to see. There a way it was meant to be. A way that commands of you makes a demand on you. Voice on the wind, it glorious yearning. There's a moment for all to see. Is there a way it was meant to be? A way that commands of you, makes a demand on you. Voice of the wind, it is calling. There's a moment for all to see. Another way it was meant to be. A way that commands of you, makes a demand on you. Voice of the wind, it is calling. There's a moment for all to see. There's a way it was meant to be. There's a way that commands of you, makes a demand on you. Voice of the wind, it is calling to how we could be. We're in recovery. How we could be. We're in recovery. How we could be. We're in recovery. How we could be. We need recovery, recovery. Finding ourselves, we hear the voice of recovery. We're finding ourselves, yeah. We need the voice of recovery. How we could be, yeah. We need the voice of recovery. Oh, finding ourselves, we hear the voice of recovery. Finding ourselves, yeah, we hear the voice of
So thank you for watching, wherever you are in the world. Ninebeats.org. Thank you to everyone for being here, for our crew we introduced you earlier on. So yeah, thanks to LifeWords for being behind the project, and for Nine Beats Collective, all the members of the collective around the world. Please check us out and check out the Beatitudes Bash. You can find our album on all your favorite download platforms, and you can even get a vinyl record directly from ninebeats.org. It's okay-ish.
You dropped it in.
So please do that. Also, you can check out our resources that we have, the Ninefold Path Notebook and Learning Lab. They are also available, so you can get those too. It's a whole world that keeps on giving. So yeah, and please delve in and dive into these 9 beats, because they really are something else. And yeah, it's what the world needs. So thank you again. Let's do a bit more of In Recovery, shall we? Here we go.
Finding ourselves, we hear the voice of recovery. Finding ourselves, yeah, we hear the voice of recovery. How we could be, we need recovery. How we could be, we need recovery. Finding ourselves, yeah, we hear the voice of recovery. Finding ourselves, yeah, we hear the voice of recovery.